Hello and welcome to the Morrison Run, where we read all the comics written by James Morrison, Grant Morrison. My name is Oscar.
And I'm Angwin.
And I'm Bertie.
And I'm Leon. Oscar? Who's that?
I don't know. Who am
You
I?
should introduce yourself.
My name's Oscar. I've known these guys for a while now. They never wanted me on this podcast, but currently I'm in the same room as Angwin, so I kind of like forced my way in.
It's a good intro.
Yeah.
What's your relationship with comics?
With comics, I don't know a single thing about comics. I think I've read one comic in my life, and it was a French Mickey Mouse comic.
Well, we'll go into
That's
this
cool.
later. But first, we'll introduce the topic of our podcast today,
Uh-huh.
which is Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol run.
Doom Patrol.
Yeah. But first, talk about this French Mickey Mouse comic.
So I was in France, as you do, and I was like, oh, I would have been like in year four or no, it would have been year three. So I would have been 8 years old. Oh, maybe nine. And and it was I don't remember why, but we got given these was it Mickey? It was like Disney comics, but they're in French. But my parents were like, "Go on, Oscar, have a ball, go crazy." And I didn't know nothing about French. I didn't even know there was Disney comics. I don't remember what they're about, but I remember reading. I was so bored that I just read the entire thing, but it was in French, so I had no idea what I was reading about. But it was cool because I was reading it, and I actually learnt words because of it. Like I was like I kind of reversed engineered the language because I read it and I heard people saying those words or what I thought was those words. I learned I learned French from this comic. And also they talked about Star Wars in it. I remember they were talking about, and I remember it said in there, they said many more Star Wars films are on the way. This was in 2013, so actually it was true. There was
Whoa.
many Star Wars films, and they all sucked. So screw you, Mickey Mouse French comic. You lied to me. I don't know how I could understand there was more on the way. I think I asked my sister, and she spoke French.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
How did it make you feel?
How did it make me feel? I don't, just quite confused, really. I didn't really know there was other languages until I went to France, and I was like, wow,
Mm.
why don't they talk English? But it was good. It was all right. I think I really enjoyed it. I really loved those holidays, those French holidays. They were fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, are you ready to be extra confused?
Yeah. Well. I also know a bit more about comics.
But how much do you know about Doom Patrol?
I know nothing.
Now. So Doom Patrol's a bit weird.
What's it about?
There's like a robot guy called Cliff.
Cliff.
Yeah. And there's this lady who has
This is a really big book. It's like difficult for me to hold like this. But
Why is it so big?
for audio listeners, Leon
it's
is
got
showing
all of Doom Patrol in it,
Leon is showing Oscar Cliff on
pretty much.
their
On the
copy of
screen.
Doom Patrol.
On the screen.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's a guy called Cliff, he's a robot guy.
Uh-huh.
There's a lady called what's the lady called?
Crazy Jane.
Crazy Jane.
My
And she
name's
has
Crazy.
DID and some of her the people in her head, some of her alters have different superpowers.
I think that's quite rude.
Okay.
To call someone who has DID crazy, I think that's not very. I think that's kind of rude.
I didn't call
I know. I'm just saying that's rude. I don't think.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, I think. What's his name?
Grant.
Grant Morrison.
Hmm?
Pretty rude of you, mate.
Yeah, step down.
Yeah, don't be rude.
Oscar Wilde is called Grant Morrison.
Or else, don't be rude.
I think the title Crazy Jane is like within the story. That's what people call her. But I think the people that know her, like for real, don't call her that. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So it's not a derogatory title
Yeah.
within the context of the story.
Oh.
Yeah.
Crazy. What does Crazy Jane do? Like, what's she up to?
She's pretty chill, but like if they need a problem, then maybe one of her like hundreds of alters will be able to solve it.
Oh.
It's like Ben 10.
I bet. Oh, sick.
Yeah.
I love 10.
Yeah. And then there's this like thing, this guy, this person. I forget what their name is though.
Are you talking about Negative Man?
Negative Man, yeah, with the masks and stuff.
So there was originally, I think originally there was this character Negative Man, aka Larry Trainer, and he's a guy, and he's like wrapped up in bandages, and he's got this like negative energy spirit kind of inside him. But then in this Doom Patrol story, pretty early on in the first couple of issues, Larry Trainer and the negative energy kind of thing and this other woman all merged together into one sort of non-binary being called Rebis. And it's quite interesting. It's quite ahead of its time, I would say.
There's like
Um,
three different.
3 different people in one,
Yeah.
yeah.
and they become non-binary.
Well,
Makes sense.
well, they're referred to as they, so like I don't know.
Well, yeah. What else would you say?
Yeah, it's not binary in the sense that it's not
Not person.
No, it's not a person or a.
There's a whole kind of speech about it's like, uh, like we are mixed, like we are
Yeah.
the man and the woman. Like Rebus talks about themselves as we a lot as well, but it's not we in the like Crazy Jane talks about we as in talking about all the different alters. With Rebus, they are genuinely merged as like one kind of thing, and like they have influences of all of the different personalities, but it is like one kind of person.
Yeah, they still need to seem to know the family and friends they had before, but kind of have disconnected, and yeah, it's kind of strange.
How would you react to another person being inside you?
Like in what way?
Like their essence were inside your body.
That'd be crazy. I'd probably start freaking out. I'd probably start like jumping up and down and go bananas mode, because that's like, what even is like? Am I 2 people then, or am I one? And are my thoughts my own, or do I have 2 voices in my head? Because that's crazy. What if people? Wow.
No, it's actually a very interesting question.
Yeah, I think. What would you do?
What would I do
What if I was inside you?
if you were inside? Like I woke up and you were inside me.
Yeah.
I'd probably. So would we be able to communicate?
Yeah.
I'd probably just like chat to you in it.
Probably.
I'd be like, so what do you want? Actually, no, I know what I'd do. I'd do a bunch of things that you disapprove of.
No.
I'd do a bunch of things that you disapprove of, and you'd be like, no, don't do that. I'd be like, I'm gonna swear.
No.
I'm gonna swear, and then it'd be your mouth that's swearing.
No, it wouldn't be your mouth, because I'm inside you.
No, but but do we both have equal control over the body? Actually,
I don't know. But hey, Leon, what would you do if you're inside each other?
You go.
So like, is this like Freaky Friday?
No,
Or
there's
just
only one.
normal freaky.
Not normal
Yeah.
freaky.
Okay.
Like not freaky, and not Friday. Like you like this. Okay, this person in the comics. What's their name?
Rebus.
Okay, Rebus, Bertie, and Leon version. What would you do?
Right. Well,
I mean, the comic suggests it's not a nice thing for anyone, really, but I don't know.
but you guys are like friends.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah.
like each other.
I would argue that the all the people involved in becoming Rebus, even if they're a little confused, Rebus seems pretty like happy in being Rebus. Like it doesn't seem distressing for any of the people involved that they're
Just a
now
bit
like stuck.
disorientated, maybe.
Yeah, they're disorientated, but they seem pretty confident in this new identity as like a new and I almost think there's like this kind of sense or idea of like they've transcended to another level where they kind of just feel a kind of bliss as this new being.
What
Mm.
would
It
we be
obviously
called?
causes. What would we be called?
Leon?
I don't. Leon.
That
Yeah,
sounds sick. I would if I heard a story about Leon, Bertie and Leon. That I'd read that,
If that
and
was
I
a
don't read
comic, yeah, you'd.
I prefer Blorg.
Mm.
Yeah.
blog. Where's that come from?
Because it's a cool
I just
name.
think yeah, it's just a cool name.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like Rebus isn't a combination of their names.
do you know where the name Rebus comes from?
where?
It's like an ancient, not ancient. It's like a medieval thing. It's referenced in the comic, specifically, but it's about in like medieval alchemy. There was an idea of like the merging of the genders into the quote unquote divine hermaphrodite as this sort of like perfect divine being, um, and that was known as Rebus. And I mean, obviously, that's what's happened in the comic, and that's what this character is.
I think a good idea is to show Oscar different panels from Doom Patrol and get his reactions.
Yeah.
All right. So this is the cover of the first part of Grant Morrison's run of Doom Patrol. And what are you thinking about this guy?
It looks a bit like C-3PO. He's got like there's got muscles and there's like muscly and it's got a little bit of a bulge down there. A bulge? Or is that
It's a
just
bit of a bulge, yeah. It's
bit of a bulge?
bit of a bulge, yeah.
And then he's like screaming as well. What is he? Where's this Rebus?
No, this is Cliff, the robot man.
Oh, poor Cliff. What's up with Cliff? Why is he? Oh, so he's upset. And there's fire. Is that fire? Is that smoke like surrounding him? There's fire. Is something on fire? Is he on fire? Because like there's this explosion behind his head, and he's got what's that little blue thing that he's wearing?
What do you think it is?
A CD player or a really really big iPod.
I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that's like kind of his like voice box.
Uh,
It looks like a little speaker. Um,
I was like 50% of the way there.
yeah,
yeah,
well,
no.
to be fair.
Yeah. Is this like an independent comic? Is that how this works, or is this part of the bigger universe?
This is part of the DC universe,
Um,
but it's got indie vibes for sure. It's very much like in its own kind of space. It does, I think, later on in the series, not in what we're reviewing today, but later on in the series, I do believe like Batman shows up and stuff. But it's not. It's quite separate from a lot of the DC universe.
Yeah.
Um,
It's published under Vertigo, which was where they would do comics for more mature readers, and often the writers would get a bit more creative freedom to, they don't have that same sort of executive pressure to do something
Yeah.
for kids.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, the whole of the this Doom Patrol series, especially, every story is about something crazy, philosophical, metaphysical going on that would never happen in your standard issue of Batman, and it's exploring totally new ideas that aren't just like derivative of things from the DC universe.
Mm.
Yeah, it sort of takes the idea of like the X-Men being like sort of freaks and outcasts, but really leans into the horror of it, the kind of idea of
Yeah.
these powers being a curse.
Yeah.
So like
Would you
Robot
say
Man
that-
is a brain in a robot's body, and he's an amputee basically. He like misses
Oh.
his life as a human and stuff.
That's awful. That's horrible. Would you say that because from my understanding, my very very limited understanding, please correct me if I'm wrong. There is themes of kind of like segregation and civil rights present within X-Men. That being that the X-Men are like kind of a kind of segregated and like oppressed group within society. Is that present within these comics as well? Would you say, or am I wrong in saying that completely?
I would agree. But I would say that X-Men has been used as a metaphor for a lot of things.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's used for race with the mutant thing. I would say with Doom Patrol, the members of the Doom Patrol, they don't belong to any specific like kind of group where they are like a race that is segregated. It's a much smaller group of people. So the metaphor feels more akin to like a small queer community or like a disabled kind of metaphor, because it's like a smaller group and it's the more kind of, I would say, like personal pressures they feel. I mean, the story literally starts in a hospital. All in a hospital, which is very much where I'm getting that disabled thing. I would say that Cliff and Crazy Jane are both literally disabled. I mean,
Yeah.
so you know,
Okay, that's
Mhm.
interesting. Is that the Al Manas Hospital Memorial Hospital? Is that this?
Alamance Memorial Hospital, yeah. So it starts in well, I think it starts in like a normal and a psychiatric hospital. Well, I guess a hospital with a psychiatric wing. You see this guy in the chair. I
Yeah.
think this guy is like their version of Professor X.
Hmm. Is
Doom
he pretty?
Patrol was, I believe, created before X-Men, and some people think it's a rip-off of X-Men. X-Men ripped it off.
Wow.
Obviously, X-Men ended up completely being its own thing and doing so
Yeah.
many crazy things. But when Doom Patrol first debuted, it was like there's a guy in a wheelchair who's like a Professor X type, and then there was a small team of these kind of outcast superheroes, and then X-Men ended up doing started with kind of the exact same setup before going in other directions.
Yeah. But yeah, you see how this Cliff guy's looking kind of sad.
Yeah, Mr. Steel. And
Yeah.
it's Magnus. Do you remember me, don't you? I made the Metal Man, Cliff. I made your body. Too, remember?
hmm
So
So,
why don't you remember nothing?
so this is sort of this is Cliff's in a way his creator, but in another way it's sort of yeah, like Cliff talks about how in his body he's sort of held captive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, if you suffered the accident that Cliff suffers, you'd probably just want to die.
What was the accident?
I think it's like a big like crash. I think he's on
It
like
was to
a
do with like race cars, yeah.
race cars. Yeah,
Oh, is that him there? That Mangle? That
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So basically, like he looks really bad, but his brain is still intact. He's able to protect his brain,
I saved the beautiful bit.
which is his mind.
How's he able to protect his brain and
I
then
don't know. I think he pulls it out and then like shields it with his body.
Oh wow, that's horrible.
Well, yeah, it's got sort of horror elements.
That is scary. Like it's scary to think about. Like even just in image form. Like I've never read comics before, but even in image form, it still kind of is very off-putting
Mm.
and it's almost scary to see. Even in this very non-realistic art style that it has.
Mm.
Yeah. Wow, that's hot. I probably want that as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But he is forced to live in a body where he can't feel anything.
Oh,
Yeah, because he's fully made of metal, so there's no nerves.
yeah.
So but he feels a lot. He experiences a lot of phantom pain.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid reference. He's obviously
Yeah.
now amputees suffer phantom pain of where their
Yes, oh,
body used to
Phantom
be.
Image, yeah.
His entire body sort of experiences phantom pain.
Like at all times.
Yeah, a lot of the time.
Oh, that's horrible.
It's horrible.
This guy's having a horrible life.
Yeah.
Why is this
The
happening to him? What's does he get power? Does he have powers?
powers. He's just sort of a robot guy. He's like strong and stuff.
Oh, it doesn't even get powers.
No, he gets
Doesn't even
sort
get
of
like a
powers.
nice little lesson from his dead uncle. Like,
Yeah, and
doesn't
yeah.
even get that.
I
Does he
mean,
have an uncle?
I'm sure he has an uncle. Oh, yeah, maybe
In my mind, that's a very key part of superhero storytelling.
having an uncle.
Family relative dead.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
No, I think something that's cool about Doom Patrol is that it explores sort of like key philosophical concepts in like a fun, digestible way, right? So I'll explain. So Cliff, his brain, right, is inside like a non-human essentially a non-human body, right, which is similar to a sort of like what Descartes talks about how you're just your mind, and if they took your mind and put it into whatever your soul, basically, then that'd still be you, right? So Cliff's soul is still in his body, a suit of armor, but he doesn't necessarily feel like himself because it's not his body or whatever.
Yeah.
And then there's the same with Remus.
Rebus.
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 It's the idea of they're always asking these questions of like, if you are whatever, then what if there are multiple people in your body? Are you one person? Like you were saying, are you one person? Are you two people or whatever? It's all very interesting. But Bleon, exactly. Is Bleon Bleon or is Bleon? Can you reduce Bleon down to the Bertie parts and the Leon parts?
Yeah. Something I think about is like, because like, okay, say I'm in heaven. Heaven exists, and
Okay.
I'm there. What does my body look like? Do I want it like current me? Do I want to look like probably realistically what I'm gonna like when I die, which is like an old man? Do I want to be like an old shriveled old man with all these wrinkles, or do I want to be me when I'm like young and beautiful? But then, is that body me?
Yeah, it's a good question.
It's very unrelated, but like,
No, it's a good question. A lot of religious people, but don't necessarily believe that you have a body
yeah,
in heaven.
yeah.
That you can have a body on earth. A lot of religious texts say that you'll have your perfect body, but then they enter. The second you say there's a perfect body, then you sort of say that there is an imperfect body, right?
Yeah.
And there's a better body, and there's something that God views as better. So you enter a sort of weird
It's a
territory.
bit weird, yeah.
But to answer your question, I guess in heaven you probably won't have a body, not in the sense that you have now, not the way that you'd be able to understand.
I think if you did, I feel like it'd just be whatever you identified with, which could even just be like your Roblox avatar or something, you know?
Yo,
You could look like your Battlefront 2 character,
I don't play Battlefront 2 that much.
but back
The
when
Sea
you
of
did.
Thieves character.
Yeah, I love
Pirate legend.
for the viewers at home who don't know what Sea of Thieves is. It's this beautiful game which you should all play. You can play with me if you'd like. Happen Robin 59, that's my username. And Sea of Thieves is this pirate game where you go around on a ship and you like steal stuff but we should play it together sometime.
Yeah. Need
Do you actually want the line forever?
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I want to play Sea of Thieves with people. Happen Robin 59.
I'll ask my
okay?
brother for Xbox Live, and then maybe we
Yeah.
can play over Christmas.
Oh,
But yeah, no. So far, everything's looking pretty horrific for these guys. We're in the hospital.
they don't even have to see it.
Got this blonde guy,
Oh, what's going on?
and then this is the negative spirit. It shows up at his window.
Oh, what's the blonde guy? What's up with him?
This is Larry, the guy. He becomes
Negative
Rebus.
man.
So this is negative man. This is what negative. This is Larry,
Yeah.
who's the original negative man, and this is the negative spirit. And then the Cliff is getting sad, and he gets all stressed, and he bashes his head against because he's.
Oh, that's brain.
Well, he can't feel pain, so he just bashes his like robot head against stuff because he can't feel things.
It's horrible.
Which is sad. And then the negative man and Larry's flying around, and then they go into each other.
Oh.
And you see this.
Oh, what's going
And
on?
now we are three,
And now
and we are
three.
one, like the Trinity.
Like the Trinity.
You see?
Like the Jesus.
It's quite a striking splash page there. There's just like some extra kind of geometrical shapes just like layered on top of this image of the three of them joining that
Yeah.
adds an extra layer of it. It feels like very magical. It's the type of shapes that like they feel like they're coming out of the page a little bit, and it adds a kind of magical and metaphysical element to the visual that what we're seeing.
Look, and then Rebus, right?
Uh-huh. Oh, whoa.
So yeah, so this is this is when we meet Crazy Jane, right?
I thought Crazy Jane just became Rebus.
No. So then it almost cuts like a movie. Like I did notice this, especially with this run. It moves. It like the visuals are very movie-esque. There's a bit where it's almost like they tried to do a match cut, right? Where they're in one place and then they're in another place that looks the exact same, right? The structure of this issue moves a bit like a comic, a bit like a movie where there's like three main characters and they move from each other's stories and they sort of cross over, right? So then they cut from the Rebus bit. And it's Cliff meeting Crazy Jane, right? And Crazy Jane's painting this like painting. And she's like in the rain, and she's like, "Look how nice it is." And then it gets destroyed by the rain.
It's a horror.
I I like how across these first 7 issues, I feel like Cliff and Jane become friends like quite quickly, and
Yeah,
they're just like I mean, it's that kind of uh, I was going to call it a metaphor, but not even a metaphor. That I feel like they could so quickly bond over being like outcasts and being like disabled in different ways, and I it just makes a lot of sense to me, and I really love their friendship that they so immediately form.
yeah.
Yeah, it's quite nice. Although she's crying in this panel that I can see.
Yeah, because of the painting being destroyed by the rain. And
Maybe
also
she shouldn't have painted outside. That might be smart. I'm just saying
That's
that.
good. That's good advice.
I'm just saying. I'm just trying to give some advice to Crazy Jane.
I think she's also sad because she's like.
I'm gonna call her nice. I'm gonna call her normal Jane. In fact, guys, let's call her normal Jane. Okay, guys?
Okay.
She's normal.
So Jane,
Normal Jane.
normal Jane. I think she's crying because of more than just the painting. I think maybe that like she feels that she's losing control, or like she just feels pain. I guess because there's so many people,
So many things going on.
so many things. She's just struggling
Yeah,
mentally.
normal things, but a lot of things.
And yeah, you see this guy yelling about the scissor men. This guy's like on fire or whatever.
So much go. It cut. Are we missing pages or
No.
It just goes.
It moves quite quickly.
It
Right?
moves. So it just jumps. What's here? What's going on here?
So there's like a car crash, and out of the car crash is this guy that's on fire, and he's yelling about the scissor men.
And this is the first
Issue.
first issue.
The first Grant Morrison issue of Doom Patrol.
Yeah, so they're just like introducing characters
Yeah.
just on the fly, like boom, 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 boom.
Exactly, yeah. Well, if you've read before, this is probably a reintroduction, right?
Uh,
Or seeing where the characters are at this point.
yeah.
But yeah,
The Scissormen, they're a threat that's not quite resolved in what we've read, but they're the sort of main threat of this first 4 issues. And it's a story where I kind of felt like, I mean, the idea of the Scissormen is a bit like you can't possibly comprehend them or understand them in certain ways. I think because of that, the stakes weren't that well established. Like, I didn't quite know what the threat was, but it was kind of cool. They were kind of cutting, they're like maybe in like the 5th dimension or something, like cutting through people with scissors, and then they become like missing from the world as like voids walking around. It looked cool, but I didn't really get it. I was much more engaged in just learning about the characters and stuff.
But I think Doom Patrol is so good because it strikes that balance of like there's all this crazy stuff going on, but the characters just feel really real.
Yeah.
And like even if you don't have no idea what's going on, neither does Cliff, and so you at least relate to Cliff. Like you know what I mean? And I think having these really strong characters at the center of everything, just pulls you through all these issues and makes everything that might not always land work anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
well, to explain to Oscar, Grant Morrison likes to play with a medium a lot. So you'll see in this next issue that what happens when the main threat catch you is that you sort of cease, like as a character on the page, you just sort of turn into like a white blob. It's like you almost like cease to exist in the story or whatever.
Mm.
It's a bit weird. So you see this guy. There's this priest-looking guy, right?
Ah.
He's ore farming and he finds a golden fish and it
Has
starts
faith
raining
in
fish.
God.
And then you'll see
That is
he looks up and he gets squashed by a really big fridge.
What on earth?
And this is sort of just like a kind of 5th dimensional dreamland is kind of inflicting on the real world
Yeah.
and like changing the world. There's a whole kind of plot where they find this book, and Jane can read this book, where like philosophers wrote some kind of incomprehensible fiction about like this alternate reality that kind of contradicts itself and is real but isn't, and it's like it's meant to be in a way a bit confusing because everything is meant to be not real and real at the same time.
So yeah, so Agwood
Yeah.
just showed me Just go back up, Penguin.
Yep.
Something called. Keep going up to where you were before. Cautionary Tales.
So yeah, that's the name of the issue, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in this, so that's the priest there. That.
It's the priest, yeah.
Oh, that's the shadow on his
It's the
face.
shadow, yeah.
Yeah. So fish rain on him. So he's wandering around a destroyed city.
Mm-hmm.
Fish begin to rain on him. He's like, ah. Then he looks up and then he gets squashed by a humongous fridge.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't get explained whatsoever.
Not really, no.
So that's just there.
Yeah, exactly.
What on earth are you? What?
Also, this is
That's like storytelling.
this is very TV-ish, right?
Yes, yeah.
You see
That's
how
the same shot.
it's
but
basically
yeah,
the same
yeah.
shot. It's like the
I
same.
study
It's,
film.
it's like it were House MD or whatever.
Yes, I know that. I know House MD. I study film, so this is interesting to me that a comic would try to replicate an establishing shot like that and have it the same, almost repeating it. I don't know if there's other issues,
It's
but
basically-
maybe it just saves time on him drawing.
Yeah.
But because all he had to draw was a little speech bubble, I don't know if that's how it works. Someone could correct me on that if that's right. If I'm wrong.
The most of this is drawn by the artists Richard Case and Scott Hanna in these
Yeah.
issues that we're reading. But yeah, comics have letterers, that's a separate job, and colorists are a separate job as well. So
Yeah.
But see, this is where Rebus gets introduced. You see, Rebus doesn't really look like a man or a woman. The whole point is that they are mixed race, mixed sex, everything. And like we see them sort of without their bandages, without their cloak on, and their proportions aren't something that they're sort of a mix between male and female. You see,
Interesting.
so we established the stakes here. Like if the Scissorman catch you, you turn into this. What happens with this boy? Where you just sort of don't exist in reality. You're just sort
Oh,
of
go back up. Why the scissor man?
the Scissorman. So the Scissormen aren't in. This boy just gets a bit stressed, right? And he gets really obsessed with reading porn or whatever.
Oh,
And then the Scissormen come up and then they catch him.
why did they get him? Because he was a porn addict, or
No, I think that they just grabbed him.
just for fun?
Well, no, I think that they sort of grab everyone, like zombies or whatever. It's just sort of what they do,
But why did they target
like
him?
predation. I don't think so. I don't know if they target him. I just think that maybe there's a reason. I don't know really
I think
why.
it's just a bit of a like monster under the bed kind of
Yeah,
setup. Sort of
yeah.
scary the readers.
I see.
Yeah. It's like yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
the
And
the
then-
door flew open. In he ran, the great long red-legged scissor man.
yeah, exactly. It's exactly meant to be like a
that's
monster,
kind of
like a
horrifying.
yeah, like they could be monsters under your bed. When how old were you when you stopped believing there were monsters under your bed, guys?
I still believe.
Oh,
It's always good to be cautious, isn't it?
yeah, that's good. That's smart.
Yeah.
I used to have a bunk bed, and I was on the top bunk.
Oh,
So my
Zach was the
my
monster
younger
under
brother
the bed.
Zach was always on the bottom bed. So yeah, I had a monster under my bed for a very long time, and I thought and he was real. He was definitely real. So I don't know I don't think I've ever stopped believing in it because that monster called me up earlier on today.
Fair enough.
If you're seeing this, Zach, you're not a monster. You're just you.
So I don't get scared about monsters under my bed anymore,
Really.
but I do get scared there are monsters like in my room.
Well, me and you shared this room last night, so were you scared that not in a friend? He's sleeping on the floor.
No,
I was on
as
the
in
bed.
sometimes I'm lying in my own bed and I think that there's like a guy stood over me and I get really stressed.
That sounds like sleep paralysis.
Sometimes it's sleep paralysis.
That's horrible.
Mm.
I've never had that. Is that mate? What if the monsters under the bed are actually the sleep paralysis demons?
And they come like crawling up.
Oh,
I'm trying to think what that reminds me of. There's a thing. You know like have you guys seen K-pop Demon Hunters?
no.
I haven't.
You know
Great
fair enough.
conversations.
Wait, you haven't Liam, you haven't seen it.
I haven't.
No, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind then. There's some like faceless, almost formless. No, they have a form, but like faceless, colorless monsters in K-pop Demon Hunters, and it's this maybe they're sort of like that, and they sort of like crawl out of this big rift or whatever. That's what they remind me of.
It's horrible.
If we see Rebus is like shirtless body. It's sort of
Oh,
or like clothes
oh,
body.
it
It's
is weird. Oh,
it's interesting proportions, right?
it is
It's
like he's they.
meh.
No, sorry,
No,
they have muscles, and they also kind of like it looks. It's very interestingly drawn
yeah.
on the chest, where it kind of could be like boobs, or it could be abs. But I feel like it's somehow they've drawn it where it could be either. You can't tell, probably because of the bandages as well.
Hmm.
But that's very interesting. Does Rebus have like skin, or is the bandages the skin?
Well, I think the like
Um,
negative spirit is underneath, right? Or
yeah, I I think I think so. I guess we don't really know. Yeah, I think the kind of negative man form is mostly what's underneath. Um, because I think I don't think the bandages literally are their skin, but I think the bandages are the is like that's the look where they feel the most comfortable. Like that is their kind of authentic representation of who they are as well. I don't want to recap every element of this arc, but most of it kind of deals with the Doom Patrol are fighting the Scissor Men in this kind of uh, Unreal City, and the kind of conclusion of this story is the kind of they learn about how they can conclude it, and there's two priests in like a temple, and one of them always lies, and one of them always tells the truth, and they have to ask them the question that will unmake the reality. Um,
Oh yeah.
so they, I believe, Rebus asks, "Why is there something instead of nothing?"
Hmm.
And one of them says, "I am a liar, and I do not know why there is something instead of nothing." And then the other one says, "I am an honest man, and I do not know why there is something instead of nothing." Um,
How's that work?
so Rebus is like, "Well, if the one that's if the one that's lying is lying, then he must know the answer." And then he goes. So then Rebus goes, Why, liar priest? Is there something instead of nothing?" And then the liar priest says, "There is something instead of nothing." But because that must be a lie, reality gets unmade, and we go back to how it was.
Oh,
It's like have you seen those TED Ed videos from back in the day?
no. I've seen the TED Ed videos on cheese. That's what I've seen.
But no, have you not seen the videos like the riddles, the riddle videos?
No.
Have you not guys what I'm talking about?
I haven't seen them.
Fair enough. Back in the day when I was a kid, there were all these videos where it's like little riddles, and one of them is like and there's two aliens, and one of them will always tell the truth, and one of them will always lie, and the other one does neither, or whatever. We'll just sort of do 50-50. And yeah, it's just like a fun trick. You have to like figure it out, and these guys figure it out because they're cool.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, yeah, I really like this arc, and I sort of, if I'm remembering correctly, I think I probably prefer it to the arc after. No, the arc after is actually no, the arc after is really cool, and it sets up some other stuff. In fairness, like Grant Morrison is covering a lot of the similar ground as he did in Animal Man with his butterfly effect stuff. They're clearly quite interested in the whole like, idea. You know about the butterfly
I
effect.
know the butterfly effect.
Do you ever get stressed about the butterfly effect?
What, that my actions will cause other actions will cause other actions.
That you could like sneeze and then that would cause a tsunami in like 67.
Hmm. What? Okay. Um. I don't know, man. If I need to sneeze, I need to sneeze. What am I meant to do? Hold my sneezing? Don't get mad at me because I'm sneezing.
Yeah, because
Like,
not sneezing might cause a tsunami as well.
exactly. I hold in the sneeze. It comes out as a fart. that's gonna cause
like a
that's
mudslide.
The reason you bring up the butterfly effect is because it's a big theme of this second arc, which I believe is called The House That Jack Built. Well, it's called, the first issue is called The Butterfly Collector, and then the second one's called The House That Jack Built, I think. But there's this guy, he's like Red Jack or something, and
Yeah,
he
Red
like claims to be God, but he's also like hints to be. He's also Jack the Ripper. He's like, he says that his story is that like he was God, but then he started making bad stuff, so he got like exiled, and now he's murdering women. Um, he does seem to have some kind of divine powers, but
yeah.
I don't believe him when he says he's God.
Why don't you believe him when he says he's God?
Just I don't think. I think the story wants to question, is this guy God? But I don't think the story isn't written with the air of like, oh my God, this is like we're legit talking to God right now. I think this
he's
is like,
presented as like an egotist, like he
yeah,
lives off
Oh,
pain as well. So he has like butterflies pinned up all over his walls, and he collects them, and he like lives off their like suffering. So he's
oh wow.
this kind of self-obsessed figure and a collector of these butterflies and stuff. So you
Is that
kind of
evil?
I don't know, this person that is immediately introduced as like greedy and self-obsessed and stuff. You're not really going to believe him when he says he's God, but you believe that he believes that, I think.
yeah,
So.
sure. There's a bit in this arc that I really enjoyed. I just thought it was really funny where Cliff and Jane they like need to do this ritual that requires getting a bunch of books, and Jane, just for like no reason, I think she's just like too locked into getting the books. Uh, she's going, books, books, I need books, and she just walks through the window of the bookstore and immediately goes, "Ow, dumb move." Uh, and she's got glass in her hair and everything, but I quite like that. Um, I don't know. I enjoy that she's got these different personalities and stuff, but I enjoyed that she's not just like stoic. Like
Yeah.
she she was locked in on this thing, but then she's still reacting to the effects of it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think. I mean, it's a little unreal that she would just walk through a window, but the fact that she then said "ow," not a good move, I think also shows like kind of the writers being like, yeah, we know this is silly, but you
I
know,
I I think there's also like an element of like we don't know what personality or what alter is existing at what time, so I think what could have happened there is like one alter walked through the window and then another one was reacting to it.
yeah.
Um, yeah.
That makes sense.
Do we want to talk about
Because
the
it would
final?
explain.
Oh,
Sorry. Because it would explain who Dorothy is to me.
yeah, I was just going to say that final arc about Dorothy, which is afterwards.
Oh, the weird looking one.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dorothy, her powers involve like bringing her imagination to life, but she's had this like upbringing where like I don't know, this has caused her a lot of fear and pain and stuff. So her imaginary friends that she killed as a child are now coming back to haunt her and haunt
Oh.
everyone because they're like alive. This was like a 2-issue story, right?
It was
Yeah.
just one issue, I
Was
think.
it?
With
It-
Dorothy, yeah, it's only one.
Yeah, with
She gets
Dorothy.
introduced in the like the
Yeah.
the butterfly one, and then they both conclude in the same story in the same issue.
It's quite like so. Yeah, her power is that her things she imagines come to life, basically. I gathered.
Yeah.
Um, it's all of these like imaginary friends she has. I'm putting up quotation marks when I say friends because they're quite scary and they clearly all represent like fears of hers. Um,
Yeah.
and I don't know, when you read the issue, like they are this one specifically very much just feels like a horror issue. Like uh
Yeah.
it's just all these kind of scary monsters that she's thought up that they all look very silly, but in a way that is quite scary still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think part of the story is when she was younger, she wanted the ruby slippers that Dorothy has from the Wizard of Oz because she's called Dorothy, and sort of these imaginary friends come back and they're like tormenting her with the slippers. It's sort of a symbol of her like vulnerability, and they're sort of making it seem like these childish things are bad and scary, and twisting her innocence sort of into this like scary horror thing. At the end, she ends up wearing them, and sort of there's a bit of a message of like, now she doesn't need to grow up just because she's experienced these things, like, you know.
Mm. Why don't she just like buy the slippers?
Well, I think she imagined them. She was living on a farm and imagining the slippers and her friends, and then I think, what was it, her friends started to her imaginary friends started to scare her, so she went behind the barn with an imaginary gun and shot them. And then the imaginary ghosts of the imaginary friends are now coming back and haunting her.
I see. So it is like really. It feels like every character in this, even the ones who are the kind of the good guys, are like they're all very. Oh, that is terrifying. They're all very like the really.
They're all troubled.
Troubled. That's a very good way of putting it. Yeah. Because I mean, imagine going behind the barn with an imaginary gun to take out the animals. Just think of the bunnies, like that's horrible.
Mm.
And that imaginary friend I just saw on the screen, just to go back up, Penguin. There's whoa, like it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's got 6 eyes, big face, and there's like another one. I mean, it's terrifying, and I think it speaks to the kind of the unfiltered and raw imagination I think most children have. Uh, that I don't think it's addressed very often. Like when I was a kid, my imagination went crazy back in the day. It doesn't
Yeah.
do that anymore. I wish it did. There's no reason it doesn't. It's not like I've matured in any way. So I don't know why they. I mean, it's nice to see this. I think it's also nice that they kind of did this in a way where it's terrifying because ultimately we can imagine anything that we really wanted to. That's how these characters were drawn, and so it makes sense that something that's to me as an adult man is quite unsettling. It makes sense that they would draw that. I mean, that's like a naked baby with a tic tac for a head and one big eye. Like, what's going on there? Like, it's. I find this very cool in the way that it does this, and the fact that it's just like she just clearly loves the Wizard of Oz. Like, she would have loved Wicked. She
Yeah, man.
was younger than her, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it is.
The um
The Broadway show.
yeah, but the book would have been out.
Oh, okay. She would have loved the Wicked Broadway show though. But yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Bit of a rant, but yeah.
That's for sure. So overall, what did we think about Doom Patrol?
Yes, that's what I find.
I have no reference point. So like a 4.
I was give the same actually. 4 naked baby with a tic tac for a head out of 5.
Yeah, 4 horrific imagination out of 5.
I think I'll go 5 because even though I did say that like I wasn't quite into the overarching story of the first 4 issues, I just think the strengths just I think were enough to pull that up for me because I just thought the characters were great, and seeing some really really interesting horror stuff in the next 3 issues after that, I think just really. I mean, those were definitely perfect, and I think for me a 5 isn't necessarily a perfect score, but I'm just very excited to continue reading this. So that
I totally agree. I would give it a 5. I'm really excited to keep reading where these characters are going. I've actually already read the first kind of third of Doom Patrol, but I'm really excited to see where it goes after that. I also think even that I think throughout this, Grant Morrison, throughout this whole series, is exploring all of Grant Morrison's like kind of crazy ideas that they have about, like, as I said, like magic and metaphysics and whatever that I don't necessarily understand. But as I said before, the strengths of the characters really still pulls you through all those stories. And also, whenever I'm reading a Grant Morrison story, I kind of always want to be at least a little bit confused.
No, that's true. I think that's fair.
I feel like that lets me know that I'm like could learn something, or or that there's thought put into it, or there's always something to dig deeper into. So yeah, I'm giving this one a 5.
I've been very confused, but it's been good. I liked it.
I'm glad. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in this week to the Morrison Run. We hope you enjoyed. If you have anything to say, please comment and give us a review on Spotify and Apple Music. Oscar, is there anything you want to plug at the end of our episode?
Anything I want to plug? UEA Filmmaking Society.
What's your at?
What's my at UEA Filmmaking Sock? I think, or Society.
On Instagram.
We make lots of films. Go watch it.
What's
All
that
right.
Mickey Mouse comic called?
I have no idea.
Called...
French Mickey Mouse comic.
How do you say mouse in French? Oscar.
Mouse. Mouse in a French accent.
We'll try to find it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for listening.
Yeah.
I've been Angwin.
I've been Oscar.
I've been Bertie.
I've been Leon.
And we've been the Morrison Run. And we
Good
will
night.
see. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
I should have been reading comics in year 4. I wasn't allowed to play with the other kids because I had a kidney infection.